Hi there, folks, and welcome to the Sandlercast. The Sandlercast is a podcast where my co-host Kieran and I
Hello.
watch the filmography of Adam Sandler from the very beginning to the very dreadful end. And we're continuing that through this. I'm your host, Swanson. This week we're watching Shakes the Clown.
It's about a clown, and
Yeah, the clown boy.
He's got problems.
Yeah, he's an alcoholic clown. He's very bad. He's actually pretty good at his job, though.
Yeah, he can jump really high for some reason, and the kids love it.
Yeah, the kids love it. And the one scene where you see him being a good clown.
Yeah, the kids is really into it. He's jumping around, being a clown.
Yep, he's a jump boy and a clown boy.
Yeah, well, I like jump boys.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite jump boy is Super Mario.
Yeah, he's a good jump boy.
But I don't like clowns.
You don't like clown boys?
No.
That's a shame.
Do you like clown boys?
No. Does anybody actually like clowns? That's a good question. Does you start off this with?
I'm pretty sure that, no one in the entire world likes clowns. But sometimes parents think their kids like them.
Yeah, I guess.
So they hire the clown, and the clown... Do you think there's actually such thing as clown parties?
Well, I want to get into that in a second, but first I want to get to some backstory on Shakes the Clown. The movie, not the character.
He probably had some pretty gritty backstory, the character, but yeah.
Yeah. This is a movie directed and written and starring Bobcat Goldthwait, who is
That's a guy.
Yeah, I think most people will recognize him as the guy in the lesser Police Academy movies who with the weird voice.
I wouldn't, but
He's a rather popular stand-up comedian from the late early 80s, early 90s. And this is his first film. He directed this in 1991. And you're probably thinking, yeah, where's Sandler? Sandler actually has a bit part in this one.
it's not super bit, but it's he's the third most important protagonist.
Yeah, I'm fourth probably. Well, no, I guess the other clown is probably below him. So yeah.
Yeah, I would say he's probably third.
But surprisingly after his leading man role in last episode's film, he didn't have another leading role for a few years.
Yeah, and he got to be the awkward friend in this one.
And he mostly succeeds in the role, so good on him.
Yeah, he's pretty good at being an awkward friend.
Yeah, it turns out that he's better at being a side character than a lead character.
Yeah, and it really shows in this movie because, you actually kind of like him in this movie maybe because he doesn't talk too much.
I think that probably helps.
And he doesn't look at the camera like in the other film and just talk to you for an entire minute. And you're just like, shut up, Sandler, shut up.
I think part of it is, absence making the heart grow fonder, We don't see we don't see him a lot in the film. He's in a good bit of it, but he's not the lead character. It's not like he develops any, really.
Yeah, I was like, I want more Sandler. Where's Sandler?
I never said that, but
I was shouting it at my screen.
That's okay.
Why isn't Sandler coming onto the screen?
Well, that's something you're gonna have to rectify with your god someday. But this movie actually has a really nice cast. Julie Brown is in it. Julie Brown most people know from Taxi, where she played Andy Kaufman's wife.
Yeah.
Blake Clark is in this, who most people will know from a slew of Adam Sandler movies, so we'll see him in the future, as mostly Waterboy, and as Sean Hunter's dad in Boy Meets World.
I know these movies.
Kathy Griffin's in this, I guess, somehow. Robin Williams shows up.
Yeah, I know who that is. He's the guy who is the genie, and then he died.
Keo, do you know who any of these people are? Actually know them? If you saw them walking on the street? Well, hopefully you don't see Robin Williams walking on the street.
Well, sometimes I see dead people on the streets.
You see dead people?
Uh-huh.
You're like that. You're like the Sixth Sense?
Yes. Except it's not scary.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, it's a scary thing.
Not really. Yeah, but most of all, most important character at least, the one who I thought knocked it out of the park, is Tom Kenny as the villain Blinky the Clown.
You mean SpongeBob?
Yes, he is the voice of SpongeBob. Before he was SpongeBob, he was an SNL writer and a comedian.
Yeah. At first, when he was first talking, you could not tell he was SpongeBob, but when he's like more emotional, you can definitely tell.
Yeah, he gets full on SpongeBob at one point.
And I liked it.
Yeah, he was. I don't know if he was the best part of the movie. He was pretty close though.
Well, yeah, he was like very. I wouldn't say he was very funny though. That's the thing, is that he was just kind of scary.
Yeah, he did a villain role pretty well.
Yeah,
By being a really like creepy, scary Coke clown.
yeah, like that's pretty terrifying, but it wasn't very funny. And I
Yeah.
think this movie's trying to be funny.
Yeah, I mean it's a black comedy, which means that it's a very dark tone to it. Not that it features a lot of black people.
Yeah.
I thought I should clarify that.
Well, yeah, we call those ghetto comedies.
Oh, okay.
In the hood.
I figured
I'm
you would. I
from.
figured you guys would just call them comedies.
No, we call them ghetto comedies here in the hood.
Mm-hmm. Where you live.
Where I live.
Yep.
With my homeboys.
Uh-huh. Am I one of your homeboys?
No.
Oh, that's devastating.
Well, yeah, you don't steal your homeboys' cars.
Or their friends.
Yeah, you don't steal their friends either. Unless
Right.
unless they have homeboys and you want to take their homeboys, then you can do
So
that.
you guys have homeboy wars?
Well, yeah, that's how the streets work.
Oh, just a lot of homeboy battles?
Yeah, you gotta take the homeboys.
Oh, okay. But yeah, this is a film that has a lot of popular people in it.
And I know all of them.
You keep saying that.
I'm very knowledgeable about this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Who's Julie Brown again?
She's the lady who, she likes to dance.
That's not a character in this movie, and that's not a character she's ever played, I don't think.
She talks with a speech impediment.
Okay, you have that right. Yeah, I don't know why they decided to give her a speech impediment in this, other than it's funny.
Yeah, but it wasn't funny. It was just kind of like, yeah, she has a speech impediment.
It also comes and goes. She doesn't stick with the speech impediment.
Well, that would mean that every time she slips, they'd have to like start the scene over and record it again.
It's almost as if they're making a movie.
Yeah, like I can't imagine doing all that work. I would just say, you know what? If you don't do it right, that's okay. Just we have work to do here.
Yeah. Shakes the Clown was originally intended as Goldthwait's satire of the stand-up circuit that he was in the late 80s. Only instead of stand-up comedians, they're all clowns and mimes and other types. Actually, I think it's just clowns and mimes.
Yeah, in this movie, it's about clowns, but like the whole clown thing, it just kind of serves to just have them in costume the whole time. It doesn't really. I wouldn't say
these clowns never are not in costume.
Yeah, it just kind of made the movie kind of jarring to watch because it's just a bunch of clowns doing like mostly like kind of regular stuff.
Yeah, drinking a lot.
Yeah, like
being framed for murder. Regular things.
I mean, stuff that you would not expect clowns to do.
Well, yeah, I think that's kind of the point.
Yeah, but it doesn't end up being any funnier. It just kind of it's like you're in a weird zone where everyone's a clown.
Yeah, the funniest parts of this movie really don't have anything to do with being a clown, other than the mime scene with Robin Williams, which we'll get to.
Yeah, like the only thing in this movie that actually like worked with the whole clown concept is when they're dealing with mimes.
Otherwise, it's no good.
Yeah, it's pretty trash. Like I don't like looking at clowns because they're weird.
Yeah.
So having them in costume just for no reason, they're just hanging out at the bar all in costume. It's not funny and it's not good to look at, so it's just kind of unpleasant.
Yeah. Yeah, this is Bobcat Goldthwait's first film, and his only one until 2003. So this one went well.
Yeah, like extremely well. Like it was so good that he could just live off the money from it for a long time.
And it certainly didn't have anything to do with the amount of money it made, as it had a budget of 1.4 million. It only made back about 100,000, a little over 100,000.
Yeah, well, that's not very surprising, because who wants to watch a movie about clowns?
That is kind of true.
Yeah, he didn't think that through very well, I don't think.
Yeah, nobody likes clown movies. I mean, people watched it. That clown movie was Stephen King. Or, not about a Stephen King book. Stephen King wasn't in it. Well, he was, but... Okay,
Was that one good, though?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, like, if the movie's good, then people will watch it, but this movie wasn't even, like, good, so combine that with being about clowns and you're doomed.
Yeah, that's true. Famously, Martin Scorsese, popular filmmaker of Taxi Driver, Goodfellas, among
Oh, yeah,
others.
yeah, yeah, I know about all those. Those are some classic movies about things that are happening.
Yeah, he actually defends the movie. He says the movie is the Citizen Kane of alcoholic clown movies.
Yeah, I know what Citizen Kane is.
Uh-huh. You don't have to prove anything to me, Keo, or the viewers, listeners.
Well, Citizen Kane is in town, and he's a citizen.
Yep, you described the movie to a T.
Thank you.
Yeah, so anyway, let's get into, I guess we can get into the movie now. This movie starts out with the best thing possible, just a lot of sounds of a dog chewing a pizza.
Oh, I love watching movies where they just have something gross in my ears for a long time.
Yeah, for over a minute.
And
but don't worry,
fantastic.
if you had nothing, if you were fine with the dog chewing, don't worry, you get to see a kid pee and then a guy vomit, probably all in roughly the first minute of the film.
Yeah, I never get it when movies do this to me.
What, you didn't think it was funny when the kid was peeing and then Shakes gets woken up and then he stands up and he gets splashed in pee?
Yeah, I didn't think that was funny. Did you think it was funny?
Yeah, it was hilarious. I laughed deeply. No, wait, that was sobbing. I sobbed.
Oh, yeah, that's really scary when you do that.
Yeah. It scares me most of all.
Well, yeah, you should be terrified by it.
By my own crying?
Yeah. Just like, why do you do that? That's weird, man. You should get that checked out.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, Shakes had a rough night.
Yeah, a rough night of drinking because he's a drunk clown.
Yep. Have you ever heard of a drunk clown, Keo?
Yes.
Have you ever heard of a drunk clown before you watch this movie?
No.
Okay. Yeah, so this unknown lady who's played by Florence Henderson, who is somebody else I imagine you know, Keo, enlighten the viewers on what she's from.
She's from the movie about the people.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
The people who are doing things on camera?
Nope, definitely not a movie.
TV show where the people
Yep,
are...
she's Carol Brady from the Brady Bunch. You guessed it, Keo.
Wow, I did it.
Anyway, she's a lady who Shakes sleeps with, and then he just leaves because he's a nice guy.
I don't think that's what nice guys do. I think that's what, like, not nice guys do.
Nope, yeah, he's a real nice guy.
I think the whole point of that is to show that Shakes isn't a nice guy.
No, it's supposed to show that he's a stand-up dude.
Oh, okay.
Like when he gives the kid money, all of like $2.50.
Well, he is a pretty great guy. Never mind.
Yeah, I wouldn't have given that kid money. He peed on my head.
I would have. Well, I wouldn't have been there. I would have. I would have not been a clown.
Yeah. There's a lot of choices I would have made different than Shakes.
Yeah. So never mind.
First would be being a clown.
Yeah, I would have woken up and been like, "Oh, why am I a clown? I'm gonna go do something else with my life." If I were Shakes.
Yeah. Well, he was born into it because we find out later that his dad was a clown.
Well, I would have told my dad, "You're a bad dad."
Well, his
And
dad died.
I, well, when did he die?
What? They explain it in the film.
I didn't watch the film.
What?
What do you mean, what?
How did you not watch the film? We were watching it together.
I was pretending to watch it.
I mean, okay. Sure.
No, I missed that. When did his dad die?
Mr. Cheese explains it to him. Or explains it. He doesn't explain his dad's death to him. He explains that his dad, had an elephant accident.
Oh, I thought that was Binky.
No, that was Shake's dad, Lips.
Well, I guess that's what
Or
happens.
Lippy.
I guess that's what happens when you just tell something about a character through exposition.
Is you forget about it?
Yeah, or you don't forget about it, but it's just like the details become foggy because it's just like, okay, that was a great way to explain it.
when you poorly tell it through exposition, if Shakes himself had mentioned it a couple times, you would have remembered.
Yeah, but
It's a throwaway line, so
yeah, it that was bad. I didn't know who he was talking about, or I don't remember who he was talking about anyway.
maybe you're just bad at watching movies.
I'm good at watching movies. I'm a movie boy. I'm doing a movie podcast.
Yep. So then Shakes gets a nice little jolt from the radio guys, Larry Loud and Barry Obnoxious, whose names wouldn't even be acceptable in pro wrestling.
Well, yeah, these are clowns.
Well, are they supposed to be clowns who are on the radio?
I assume everything that they watch is just clowns doing stuff.
Yeah, we'll get to that a little bit later, too, because at first, this looks like just an average city, but we'll soon find out that this town is going through a clown epidemic.
There's clowns everywhere doing everything, and it's out of control.
This is, yeah. Anyway, this is what I want to get into, because he goes to a clown party, and it had me thinking of, do clown parties actually happen? Like, are they a thing?
I don't think they are.
Because I'm only aware of clown parties through movies. I've never actually been to a clown party. I've seen clowns at the circus, but I've never, seen a clown at a birthday party or outside of a circus.
Neither have I. I've never heard of anyone having one.
Yeah, clown parties sounds like something that happens to a parent who is just disattached from their child.
I mean, maybe, as a kid, there have been opportunities for me to have gone to a clown party, but my mom was probably just like,
She was a good parent.
She's like, yeah, no, I'm not taking him to that.
Yeah. It's important. Listen, if you're a parent listening to this, it's important that you don't expose your child to clowns.
Yeah, because they're all drunk.
Yeah. Or they can just become one. You don't want your kid becoming a clown.
Yeah. You don't want your kid becoming a clown. You don't want your kid... Well, actually, I guess you do want your kid to be able to jump around like Shakes can, but everything else you don't want.
Yeah, Shakes has jumps.
He's really good at jumping, and they never really explain it.
Yeah, because you don't see any of the other clowns being able to jump like he does.
So I guess he's just got special jump powers that they will never explain.
Yeah. But he's also pretty good at his job.
He is able to entertain the kids.
Yeah, even in his half-drunken stupor.
Yeah, or when he's cranky from not being drunk.
Yeah. Was he doing a good job then, though?
Not well. He kind of somehow salvaged it. I don't know.
And then went crazy with booze fever.
Yeah, well,
we'll get to that. Hold on, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Anyway, yeah, Shakes is he's a good clown, and he goes to a regular bar that's just filled with clowns. It's a clown bar, I guess.
Yeah, because for some reason, when they get off work, they just want to keep their
all
clown
of their
stuff
makeup on. Yeah,
yeah, they just want to keep it all on and try to get with ladies, even though I'm sure they're well aware that's going to just sharply reduce your ability to get them.
Yeah, but we're introduced to all of the other clowns. Shake's two friends, Adam Sandler and the other guy, and then we see a little bit of Binky.
Yeah, Binky is the jerk clown. Nobody likes him.
Yeah, and he has two dumb cohorts whose names I don't remember. I think one was Ho Ho.
Yeah, and he's very mean to them.
Yep. Yeah, he's not a good friend to have around. He also does cocaine.
Yeah, well, actually, cocaine is probably a good thing. That's probably the one good thing about his character. Because
I don't think that's a good thing, Kyo.
what are you talking about, Swanson?
I don't think doing cocaine's a good thing.
You're saying I have a problem?
Yes. Yeah, this is an intervention.
Oh, should I quit?
Yeah, that's what that means. When we have an intervention, it's not because I'm like, I don't agree with this, but you should keep doing it. It means you should quit.
I mean, you could just tell me to cut back a little bit, like,
I want you to cut back completely. Stop doing it.
Well, Swanson, if you don't want me to take cocaine, don't let me take your money to buy it with.
Well, I don't know how I can stop you from doing that since you do it behind my back.
You should protect your money better.
You're right. Let me put this wallet in this safe.
Well, I shouldn't have given you ideas.
Alright, now it's under lock and key.
Alright, I guess we have to quit.
Yep. Anyway, yeah, Adam Sandler's there, Blake's there, Blake Clark, as I explained.
And they're watching clown TV.
Yeah, they're watching, what's his name, like, Petey the Clown or something?
Yeah, and he's
Porky the Clown.
I don't know, it's
definitely Porky the Clown.
I thought he was like Dog Boy the Clown or something, because he had a dog.
I don't think his name was Dog Boy.
Would have been a good name.
Yeah, I think he's Porky the Clown. We'll call him Porky. Peppy the Clown. Sorry.
Yeah, okay, you were pretty close.
Yeah, I like Porky as a better name because he was kind of pudgy. He's retiring or being fired, as we learn later, from the show, and he's named Binky as his replacement. And
everyone's outraged.
Yeah, because Binky is not funny.
And also, he's a jerk.
I think that's mainly it. But he's also, he's not funny.
Yeah, he's not funny in the movies, and he's not funny in the universe of the show.
Yeah. He's kind of funny in the movie.
A little bit.
He has some good lines.
He's pretty entertaining.
This is overall the weird thing about this movie, which is that, like, it is sort of, like, there are definitely moments that are funny.
Yeah, just kind of at random points.
There's one particular scene that we'll get to that I couldn't stop laughing at.
Yeah, that scene that we're going to talk about in the distant future, 3 years from now, was pretty funny.
Yeah, and, but it's also like, there's a lot of just problems with this movie.
You mean like how the first half of it is just a bunch of just stuff?
Yeah, it's just like a bunch of skits about clowns.
Well, not even about clowns. It's just skits of people like at a bar doing stuff, and they're just dressed as clowns. It's not even like really about clowns.
Yeah, that's true. Anyway, his girlfriend, Julie Brown, who was speaking with a lisp, is not happy because she suspects that Shakes is cheating on her, and she would be completely correct.
Yeah, Shakes is not a good guy. He's actually a bad guy.
Yeah, he's a bad guy, but a good clown.
Yeah, all the clowns love him. He's the best clown, but he's got some problems.
I don't know if all the clowns love him. I think just his friends.
Yeah, well, I guess so, but I don't know. He seems pretty popular. He seems well liked, unlike Binky.
It's true. Binky is pretty universally hated.
Yeah.
But his girlfriend wants to call it off, and he doesn't want anything to do with that. So he picks her a flower by using his Jumpman abilities. This is when his Jumpman abilities get like displayed. And
like for the one time.
Well, he did it earlier, sort of, but
he jumped off of something though. This time he like jumps onto something.
Yeah, and he does it again later, but he jumps off. But yeah, this is like it's never explained how he has the ability to jump. like long distances.
I guess he's like a super acrobat. I don't know.
He's a real super clown for a guy who's always drunk.
Well, my theory is that being drunk gives him amazing jumping abilities.
Yeah.
Because that's how drunkenness works. It doesn't take away your coordination. It gives it to you as well as super strength.
Oh, right. Yeah, of course. But anyway, he picks her a flower, but she don't want that flower. In fact, she doesn't want anything to do with him.
She's mad at him.
Yeah, because she was on her way to becoming a professional bowler, which is her dream. And
he didn't care.
Yeah, he wasn't there for her conquest in the world of bowling.
Yeah, and I felt really bad for him.
Did you?
No.
Yeah, this doesn't really work. I mean, it's a weird plot because it doesn't seem to go anywhere.
And it really doesn't.
Yeah. And then he gets hit with a milk truck, and she comes running back because she cares about him, but then she doesn't care anymore.
Yeah, because he wasn't really hurt. So
yeah. Which is another sign of his superpowers, apparently, because he can get hit by a milk truck and be fine.
Yeah, or maybe like he got winged by it, but just handed up a lot. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows?
Maybe it's because drunk people,
don't feel pain.
Well, they're just kind of tough or whatever.
They have superpowers. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they can jump around and are just don't feel any pain.
Yeah, one time I saw a drunk guy melt a steel beam.
Yeah, they can do that.
Yeah, you know what can't do that?
What?
Jet fuel. Anyway.
You heard it here, folks. 9/11 didn't happen.
Well, it did. It was just drunk people that caused it.
Well, yeah, but it was 9/11. It was just drunk people.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, they, the milkman tries and picks up Julie, and she is, not pleased. What does she say, Kia?
She says, "Get away from me, you milkman scum."
Yeah, that's a good line. Anyway, that's one of the best lines in the movie.
Look, we gotta talk about the milkman because, he comes on to her by offering her dairy products.
Yeah, isn't that how you get ladies?
Cottage cheese?
Yeah.
Half and half?
It sounds like a great way to get ladies. I wish I was a milkman.
Yeah, I wish I could dress up as a milkman every day. Wait, yeah. I can.
Yeah, nothing's stopping you.
I could just go ahead and do that.
What if you meet a real milkman, though? Then he's going to be like, hey, he's not a real milkman.
How's he going to know?
Because you're not driving a milk van.
I don't have to drive a milk van.
You're not a milkman, I'm a milk van.
I can just carry milk. They'll believe me.
I don't know if you want to go for this. They do some pretty drastic things to fakers.
Like what?
Like pour milk on them.
Oh, no! That'll ruin my white milkman suit.
Yeah. It'll get whiter. Anyway, yeah, so then we have a very long establishing scene for these two cops, and I wasn't feeling this scene at all. They get funnier later. But
a little bit, and then they're gone again.
Yeah. But they're not like... They're probably the one part of the movie... Well, not the one part. They're probably the two characters in the movie who show up the most that fall the most flat. Yeah,
like, they're not funny at all. They don't really do anything interesting. They're just like, yeah, we're cops, we're eating food, and then we're gone.
Yeah, basically they see Shakes, and Shakes had a hard night because he was depressed.
He was driving drunk, and the cops are not happy about it.
Well, he was just driving fast, I think.
Well, he was drunk, though. Was
he already drunk? He had just woken up.
He was, like, driving with like, liquor in his hand.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that part. Anyway, yeah, so they arrest him after a car chase. Including a part where they run into a clown car, and then the clown gets out and cleans their windows for them.
I didn't know clowns did that. I thought that was homeless people.
I don't think homeless people clean your windows for you.
Uh, they do. What are you talking about?
When does this happen to you?
At a gas station.
That's people. That's a gas station attendant. They don't.
No,
clean.
no. It was a homeless guy.
How do you know?
He was very homeless. He had,
Define barely homeless.
He had no house.
Are you judging that just because he was at a gas station?
No, he was very homeless.
How do you know he didn't have a house? Did you ask him? Were you just like, hey, do you have a house?
Yeah, I asked him if he had a house, and he said no.
Oh, well, I guess that proves that.
Yep.
He was homeless.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. Shakes eventually gets taken out of custody due to his owner, or owner sounds like he's a clown slave. His promoter, I guess.
I don't know who that was, and he didn't appear again, so I didn't care.
He did appear again. He gets murdered.
Oh yeah. I mean, he didn't appear much, so I didn't care who he was.
Anyway, his name is Mr. Cheese, and yeah, he gets Shakes out of the slammer. The one thing I did like about this cop scene is that there's a pretty unruly clown who is being taken to the back, and then in the very end, after everybody has left, you just see a cop holding a gun to the clown's head.
Yeah.
And then it just cuts away.
Very tense clown moment.
Yeah. Police brutality is real, guys. Even for clowns.
It happens, actually, especially for clowns. We just don't hear about it on the news because people think it's just a joke.
Yeah, there's a media blackout going on for clowns.
Yep.
Not everything that happens with clowns is funny, guys. Just as this movie.
Yeah, well, this movie is very gritty. And it was about clowns.
It's very down to earth.
Yeah, just clowns who are just dressed up as clowns all day long, even though they're not working.
Yep. That explains clowns to a T. Don't you just see clowns walking around all the time?
I do.
Yeah, and you're just like, oh boy, more clowns.
You know, I hate clowns.
Yeah, I think most people agree.
And I'm glad that the police brutalize them all the time.
Yeah, I think, mainly that's why people don't care.
I hate it when clowns come at me and want to clean my windshield.
Yeah.
Because
also, when you see clowns, you just can't tell if they're trustworthy or not.
Well, you can tell if they're trustworthy. They're not.
Yeah. But who do you like more, clowns or mimes? Or hate more, I guess.
I like mimes.
Yeah? Yeah, because they keep quiet.
Yeah, they're quiet and they're in a box.
Yeah. Can't get at them, they can't get at you.
Yeah, they're not like loud, obnoxious clowns that have squeegees and they're coming at me and trying to wash my window for pocket change.
Right. Yeah, so there is a weird sort of running gag about clowns and mimes in this one. Where clowns do a lot of mime bashing, as it's called.
Yeah, like, if they see mimes, they're like, MIMES!
And then they just beat them up.
Yeah.
And this happens during a sequence in the movie that's really probably the weirdest part of the movie, I think, because Shakes gets out of jail, and then his buddies are trying to tell him he has an alcohol problem, which is the first sign of a plot in the movie.
Yeah, he has an alcohol problem.
We're halfway through the movie at this point, by the way.
He has an alcohol problem, and they try to resolve it, like, halfway through the movie after they spent, like, 1,000,000 hours just doing nothing.
Yep. And
I was convinced that this movie was going to go nowhere. It was just going to be, like...
Just like the last film?
Yeah, well, the last film did go somewhere.
It just wasn't anywhere good.
It was just somewhere really bad, and it involved two obnoxious foreigners.
So in a way, this film is sort of like the antithesis to that one, where it doesn't go anywhere at first, but then it goes somewhere at least entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say good. I wouldn't give it that label. I'd give it the label of tolerable.
I mean, when it got towards the end, I guess I kind of got used to the fact that they were clowns, and just saw what was in front of me, and I guess I would have liked this movie better if there were just no clowns in it.
It was just called Shakes?
Yeah, it was just called Shakes. It was just about some guy.
Yeah.
Who's not a clown. And he has
Shakes sounds like a bad Pixar movie about anthropomorphic shakes.
I'd watch it. I love Shakes. I mean,
Yeah, you'd have vanilla, chocolate, strawberry, and strawberry and vanilla have a thing.
Yeah, and there'd be the Smoothie Boys, and they're bad.
Yeah, the Smoothie Boys are the bad guys, and they're all controlled by Slushy.
We gotta pitch this.
This sounds like gold. Are you listening, Pixar? I know you're not.
Well, we gotta get them on the phone.
Yeah. Well, let me look up their number. I'm sure they're in the phone book.
Yeah. Let's invite him to the podcast. Just invite some Pixar guy to the podcast and pitch to him as we record.
I'm sure he'd love it.
I can guarantee you he'll love it.
Anyway, yeah, this happens during this rambling sequence where instead of overcoming his alcoholism right then and there, Shakes just convinces his friends, "Hey, how about we just drink?" And they're just like, "Yeah, okay." So then there's a weird sort of montage where they drive around getting progressively drunker, and then they just attack some mimes.
Yeah, at that point in the movie, I was definitely convinced it wasn't going anywhere.
Yeah, that seemed like the part in the movie where it was just like, this is what it is.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna, go to some, thing about him getting over his alcoholism.
And they do.
I mean, they do later. But at this point, they just act like they're not going to.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they don't even wait too much longer because the next scene is they go to another party because he's been threatened by Mr. Cheese that he'll be fired if he doesn't clean up his act. And
then he doesn't clean up his act.
Yeah, that his buddies promised to keep him off the booze, but he's not used to not having any booze in his system, so it's not going well for him. He's getting angrier, and
he's a grouchy clown. You ever see a grouchy clown?
No. I've seen Groucho Marx, but he's not a clown. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, I know who that is.
Okay.
He's a man, and he loves lunch.
Sure. Anyway, alcoholism in a clown movie is it's an interesting idea.
It's a very random idea.
Not really, considering he is an alcoholic. So actually addressing the fact instead of just making light of it was actually nice.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, I don't know. The fact that he's a clown and he's alcoholic, it's I guess, is that supposed to be funny on its own or something, or what?
Yes, yeah, that's the idea, I think, is that it's supposed to be funny on its own. But then it's actually tackled with a real sort of development, which is what I liked about the last half of the film.
Yeah, the last half of the film actually kind of went somewhere, and
it's not, like I said, it's not good, but it's tolerable. It's better than what we saw the last episode.
It definitely was, but yeah, I don't really get it.
Anyway, he eventually gets some alcohol in his system when he notices that the parents just keep their alcohol on the fridge, on top of the fridge.
Oh, that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, you don't have like an alcohol cabinet or like, I don't know, a bar or anything. You just keep your alcohol just right on the fridge where the kids can always see it.
Well, yeah, easy access for the kids.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Very convenient.
I mean, I've heard of putting junk food on the fridge, but I don't know about alcohol.
Yeah, well, that is a junk food.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's more of a drink.
It's a snack.
Yeah, is that what you consider it?
Uh-huh.
Because I think you might be an alcoholic.
Well, I am
as
not
well
an
as
alcoholic.
as well as a cocaine addict.
I can quit whenever I want.
Okay. How about now?
No.
Later?
No.
Tomorrow.
No.
A year from now?
No.
Yeah, see, you sound like an alcoholic.
I don't want to quit because it's not a problem.
That sounds like alcoholic talk to me. Sounds like something Shakes would say, because that actually is what he says.
I have a confession.
Are you Shakes the Clown?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, I can't believe I'm actually talking to Shakes.
Yep, you want to see me jump?
Yeah.
No.
Oh. Okay.
I'm tired.
Oh, I forgot he doesn't jump when he's tired.
Well, yeah.
Only when he's drunk.
Yeah, who jumps around when they're tired?
Good point. Maybe he jumps into bed.
No, he's too tired. He walks.
He crawls.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Why are we talking about me in third person?
Oh, sorry. Yeah, why are we... That's weird. It's weird that you would talk about yourself like that, Shakes.
Yeah, that I don't really get it, but it's fine. I'm drunk.
Jesus, we are slap happy today. Okay, so yeah, he gets some alcohol in him and he goes into booze fever pretty much. Just booze crazy.
Yeah, he's having a weird time.
Yeah, he's just like I don't know why this happens. Like he drinks and then he just goes insane and starts breaking everything in the house.
Yeah,
terrorizing children.
I thought it would just bring him back to normalcy, not make him go nuts.
Apparently, he like, yeah, I don't know. It's not like if you don't do drugs for a long time, for like a couple minutes, and then you do drugs, you just go insane. It wasn't like it was a long time that he hadn't had alcohol in his system.
Yeah, I didn't really follow that.
It was hours at most.
I thought he had like a mental break for unrelated reasons.
I mean, he might have.
It just happened to coincide with him drinking some.
Yeah. And then, what also might be one of the most pointless scenes in the movie happens. This scene is clearly just a setup for a joke that I didn't even think was that funny. I'm talking, of course, about the peach cobbler scene. Do you remember this at all?
I do not.
The lady is making a peach cobbler, and Julie is going to eat a piece of it, and it's not good, so she just spits it out in front of her, and then claims that she didn't spit it out.
Yeah, that did not.
And that's the whole scene, guys.
Yeah, when I said don't remember it, I really don't. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I wouldn't have remembered if I didn't write it down in these handy dandy notes.
Yeah, I don't take notes because I'm not a nerd.
Yeah, and it shows. Yeah, so then Binky the Clown is doing a drug deal with some rodeo clowns. They also, in this movie, show that rodeo clowns are like a different subset of clowns. And where they're more southern.
And they're very rowdy.
Very rowdy. But I just like the idea of clown drug dealers. Especially if they're rodeo clowns.
They've got clowns for everything in this world, I think.
Yeah. Did I mention that this is they mentioned the name of this town as Palookaville?
No.
And I think this is supposed to be like just a city of clowns with occasional people in it.
So I guess that's why they're just always in costume, because it's just normal there.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
I don't know. It's never really very explained.
Anyway, this is when we start to get into like the real actual plot of the movie.
When it's almost over.
Yeah, in the last 45 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
I think that might be why, is that the plot was so thin that instead of just adding more to it, they just did a bunch of random stuff instead.
Well, yeah, they added a hostage situation and a murder.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because Binky's crazy.
Binky is not a great guy, but Tom Kenny is making the most of this situation, of this character.
Yeah, he really does.
Anyway, he's a clown drug dealer, and Mr. Cheese comes in and sees Binky not Binky, Shakes is all drunk and fires him just right on the spot.
He didn't get his act together.
Yeah.
He told him he was going to fire him real quick. He'd fire him so fast that he'd be immediately out of work.
Yep, and true to form, that's what happens. And then Shakes passes out on the couch where this drug deal is going down. And they just decide it's fine, they can leave him here. I actually thought this was going in a different direction, so I'm glad it went somewhere else. I thought Shakes was going to pretend to be asleep, and then get like leverage over Binky.
Yeah, I guess I don't know why you'd want it, other than the fact that he doesn't like him. But yeah, that wouldn't have really gone anywhere.
Yeah, this is why I'm not a writer for movies. Although it's not like this movie's very well written.
It has a few funny jokes, but otherwise it's a mess.
Yeah. And the funniest scene in the movie is most definitely improvised.
Yeah, and
anyway, Owen Cheese, I think, is the guy's full name. Now that I'm looking at it. Anyway, Mr. Cheese is searching for Shakes, and he finds out he's in the back room. So he goes there just in time to see the clowns taking drugs, and he utters my second favorite line in the movie, which is, "You clowns are on dope!"
And they are. They're taking the cocaine.
Yeah, they're on dope. They're dope clowns.
And Binky does not react well to this.
No, he just instantly kills Mr. Cheese.
Yeah, he's a brutal man.
Yeah, he's kind of terrifying, and this is the moment where he gets very psychotic.
Yeah, he's legitimately just completely terrifying.
Yeah, don't do cocaine, kids.
Also, don't be a clown.
Yeah, don't be a clown and do cocaine. Bad mix.
Yeah, you'll end up killing someone.
Yep. And yeah, he's dead now, Mr. Cheese.
Yeah, and guess what they do, Swanson?
They frame Shakes the Clown. Because him and Cheese have had a falling out, so they put them together in a room, and Shakes wakes up and just believes that he killed him, because he can't remember anything. He was drunk.
Yeah, and he thinks he killed him.
Yeah, so he leaves, and the two bumbling detectives from before are back at it. And they
amount to nothing.
Yeah, they're looking for Shakes, but Shakes gets away. I
think he jumped up on a ledge with his amazing jumping powers.
Yeah, and then he steals a car and gets chased by the rodeo clowns from before. And then,
first they frame him, then they want to kill him.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really sure why they did both, but yeah.
Yeah, because they could have easily just been like, "Hey, cops, here's the guy."
Yeah, and I mean, if they murder him, then I'm pretty sure that's gonna put them on the trail of someone else for the murder.
Yeah, I guess. But
I mean,
these are cops. These are cops who are dealing with clowns. We're talking about here, Keo. These guys always want to solve a clown case real quick,
and they're bad at it.
Instead of dealing with those dirty clowns.
And they have some real crime to investigate, not just stupid clown crime.
Yeah, although evidently they don't, because they're clowns in they're police in the city of Palookasville, which is Clown City.
Yeah, and I guess, I mean, they seem to not like reacting to clown crime, but if it's Clown City, shouldn't it be really common?
Yeah, there should be a lot of clown crime going on, especially with these rodeo clowns.
Since they seem to have an ominous party shack where who knows what is going on in there.
Yeah, I mean, we never actually get to see what goes on in there because they never get inside.
But I'm sure there's crime going on in there.
Lots of rodeo clown crime.
Yeah, that's the scariest kind of crime.
Yep. And but let's hop back a little bit, much like Shakes hops all the time. To him getting run off the road and his car exploding. Is that supposed to be his car, by the way, or just a car that he stole?
I think it's his car.
Because he makes a joke about how he just finally paid it off.
Yeah, I think that's actually his car.
But why is his car parked? Did Binky take Shake's car for some reason? I mean, I guess that makes sense.
I don't think it was thought through that well, is what happened.
Yeah. Anyway... so Shakes is trying to is finally makes his way back to Julie, and he needs to lay low because the cops are looking for him. So he lays low in the only way that he can think, by being a mime.
Well, that is a pretty genius plan.
It's true. Nobody's gonna look for him as a mime because he's a clown. And clowns hate mimes.
They really do. Like,
And
and I thought like they were gonna actually have him like flip out when he was surrounded by mimes, but they didn't go for that. They went for something much funnier.
yeah, which is him just silently in apathy, having to deal with being a mime.
And
Anyway,
being harassed by the mime guy.
yeah, by Robin Williams, who makes an appearance as the mime teacher at this mime school, and he brings up Shakes as his or Chuck as he calls himself, as his little assistant, and he just sort of berates him for the remainder of this scene.
He's absolutely vicious.
And it's the best scene in the movie.
It really is. It's just like, it's very, very weird.
Yeah, and it's just Robin Williams. I think he's most definitely improvising, because this all sounds like stuff that he would just normally say.
Yeah, I mean, it's just him doing random, like, not even, part of the time it's mime stuff, but part of the stuff he's just saying just completely random.
Yeah, like they're riding ponies, they're frying bacon, they're miming having giant cocks.
Yeah, if someone wrote that, I'm actually pretty impressed.
Yeah. Anyway, he utters my favorite line in the movie where he says to Chuck, "Shake your meat, Chuck!"
And Chuck, he tries to shake his meat, but he's not really into it because he's not a mime. He's a clown at heart.
And even the mime gets it. Robin Williams' mime gets it a little bit towards the end. He accuses him of being a mime or a clown.
Yeah, and he's just not happy about that.
No, but yeah, I mean it's weird. Meanwhile, it's the funniest scene in the movie though, by far.
Definitely.
Meanwhile, Binky pays a visit to Julie Brown, and he accidentally acquits himself. Or that's not the right word. That would mean he was innocent.
Yeah, he implicates himself.
Yeah. He accidentally implicates himself by saying "me" when he's describing what Shakes did.
Or supposedly
But he was already going into so much detail that it was very obvious to anybody who isn't a moron.
Yeah, so he says he has to kill her, but he doesn't just kill her, he kidnaps her.
Yeah, because he's sadistic and crazy and whatnot, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if he was gonna kill her, I guess he was probably planning on killing her in the first place.
Yeah, probably.
So, yeah, and he's not very good at his evil plan, because he decides
I don't think he really has much of one, since he seemed to kill Mr. Cheese on a whim, and then frame Shakes on a whim.
Well, I mean, killing her was definitely premeditated.
Oh,
to a great extent, and he very strange plan to take her to the show we just got and kill her there.
Yeah, it's great. It's an interesting plan, especially because the set of the show looks like it's already the stage for a snuff film.
Yeah, that was like the most grim place to film a kids show ever.
And they have to try and convince the kids to actually clap for them and stuff.
And they're just not into it at all.
And Tom Kenny gets to sing a really creepy clown song.
Yeah, that was just scary.
It wasn't fun. Well, it was supposed to not be funny. But yeah, it was definitely really, really scary and creepy.
Well, I mean, it was supposed to be not funny, but then funny because it's not funny, but it just ended up not being funny.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It was just crazy stuff. Meanwhile, Mr. Shakes, him and his buddies, they're going looking for Julie Brown, who's been kidnapped and is about to be killed. And he has to try and convince his friends that he didn't kill Mr. Cheese. Also, they're just confused because he's a mime.
Yeah, they're about to beat him up because, that's what mimes deserve.
Mm-hmm. Is mime bashing.
Yeah, I can't believe how bigoted clowns are.
Yeah, what's a mime ever done to them?
Put them in an invisible box.
Oh, okay, that deserves it then. I'd beat up a clown for that.
Actually, I guess that the treatment that Shakes got from that instructor kind of justifies beating up mimes, because that was just vicious.
Yeah, that he was not a very very nice mime at all.
Like, is that what mimes have to go through? Is just this beratement before they're like, they hone their mime skills?
Evidently, that's why they're always so quiet. Anyway, yeah, so they have to go to the rodeo clown bar, and they don't really get in, though, but he still manages to see the clowns from before because he remembers that they only had one light working because he bumped into it and broke one of their other ones.
And there's a conflict.
That's what you want to call this. Wherein the two rodeo clowns desperately try to do anything to these guys, and the one guy misses shooting him with a shotgun. This is a really weirdly staged scene, by the way, because I think it's kind of oddly clear that like it's two separate scenes happening at the same time.
Yeah, it's just kind of a jumble.
It's the two rodeo clowns in their car being filmed, and it's Shakes and his buddies in the other car being filmed, because when the guy takes out the shotgun, it's clear that, like, he's holding the shotgun, but in the scene with Shakes and his buddies, the shotgun is sort of just, like, floating around. Like, it's like a ridiculously long shotgun if it's in their shot that much.
Well, yeah. This was one of those clown shotguns. They're just ridiculously big.
Right. It's also in parts, which I don't know anything about guns, so I didn't know shotguns came in parts, but...
Oh, yeah, well, we're talking about clown shotguns here.
That's right. Don't clown shotguns just shoot out rolls of paper that say bang?
Not this one.
Yeah, this one apparently shoots real bullets.
Really deadly bullets.
That hit nothing.
Yeah.
It's fired once, and it hits, I think, the window of his car?
I don't remember, but yeah, like, nothing really comes of this conflict, really.
But then he throws a pie in the driver's face, and the car crashes into a bunch of porta potties, and they catch him. It would have been nice if they crashed into a bunch of cardboard boxes.
Yeah, don't you love when people crash into stacks of boxes?
Yeah, that's great. Because, I mean, you always just see those stacks of boxes lying around.
Yeah, whenever I see a stack of anything, I want somebody to fly into it, but especially if it's boxes.
Yeah, like we saw this stack of porta potties. It wasn't really a stack, it was just two porta potties, but two porta potties seems like too much already, so...
Well, if there's a big construction job going on, that's probably a good amount to have.
I don't know. Sounds like you can get a lot of slackers slacking off in the porta potty.
Is that where if you were working, would you just want to hang out in the porta potty?
Well, yeah, if you don't want to work. You don't have many more options other than calling off.
You know what it's like inside of a porta potty?
No, I've never been.
It's bad, Swanson.
Really? What's so bad about that? It sounds like an interesting place.
Well, do you want me to go into the details of what a porta potty is, Swanson?
I think for our listeners, we probably should.
It's a very cramped, not very clean, and smelly place. You don't want to go in there. You don't want to be in there. You wouldn't.
And you definitely don't want to be inside.
Yeah.
Anyway, do you think porta potties come naturally smelly?
Yeah, like they have them pre-smelly because you don't want to give them false expectations for what it's going to be like.
Right, yeah, because if somebody's the first guy to step in a porta potty, they're going to just be like, wow, it's actually not bad in here. I think I'll stay here forever.
Yeah, so what they do in the factory is they just spray it down with smelly stuff.
Oh, I just thought they poured shit everywhere.
No. That would not be sanitary, Swanson.
Oh, well, shows what I know.
Yeah, it's gotta be clean when they ship it out.
Anyway, Shakes gets the info he needs about where Binky took Julie Brown, and they go off after her.
Yep, and after not too long, well, Shakes gets shot.
Yeah, also it's suddenly day again.
Well, yeah.
Even though we already had the scene beforehand of Binks... Or no, I don't think we did. Never mind. Maybe we did. Yeah, because it had already been established that Binky had her ready to go in the TV show.
Another day happened.
Well, at least a night.
Well, you know what I mean. It became a new day.
Yeah, it was a new day. Yes, it was. And, yeah, they get going. And they battle Binky's cohorts, and Shakes gets shot. But don't worry, because alcoholism saves the day.
Yeah, his flask took the bullet.
Yeah, and that's really the message in the end, is that if you drink long enough, one day the flask will save your life.
Yeah, when you get shot because you're a drunk clown fighting other clowns.
Mm-hmm. So then, yeah, they go in and they stop Binky just as he's done psychologically torturing Julie Brown.
Yeah, he's doing the knife routine, but it's very menacing and terrifying.
Yeah, he has a lot of knives, by the way.
Well, yeah, you gotta have a lot for the routine to build up dramatic tension.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's also apparently not planning on, like, torturing her at all. He's just planning on saving one last knife just to kill her with.
Well,
he's apparently not that sadistic.
Well, it's pretty cruel throwing the knives in the first place, and well, I guess she would have died pretty quick if he hit her in the right place. So,
yeah,
I guess he's not completely cruel.
I don't know where the knife was even planning on going because Shakes plans on stops that with a timely placed bowling pin.
Well, yeah, you know that's his heroic moment.
Yeah,
using his clown talent to save the day.
I mean, he certainly didn't have a heroic moment when he was wrestling on the ground with Binky and just being strangled.
That was not impressive.
But luckily, Julie gets to show off her bowling skills and whacks Binky with a piece of pottery, I think.
Yeah, they brought everything home with this one.
Yeah.
Everything was tied up.
Sort of. But yeah, so she gets to actually save the day against her attacker. So that's nice. Not something that usually happens to the girlfriend who gets kidnapped.
Yeah,
it's already better than whatever the hell was going on with the female character and going overboard.
Where she blamed the boyfriend for all of her problems and everyone just accepted it.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no speech about how her problems are all due to Shakes and Binky, and now that she's independent and better because of it.
Yeah, she just uses her talents to save the day. Well, kind of unnecessarily, but you had to bring in the bowling somehow.
It wasn't unnecessarily. Shakes was about to get
deathified. I'm saying it would have been much more effective for him to just walk over and throw the vase at his head.
Oh. Yeah, she did tee it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Because what if she missed? She's not a pro bowler yet.
Yeah, like she took an unnecessary risk. She should have been shamed for that.
You're right. They should have been like, dumb girl. What were you thinking?
Why are you bringing your bowling into this?
This is clown matters.
This is clown matters.
Anyway, and yeah, then we get the happy endings for mainly just Shakes.
Yeah, well, yeah. They had a little subplot where Sandler is trying to get with the girl. Sandler and the other guy are trying to get with the girl, but
they don't.
Well, maybe they do because they were saying they wanted to be on TV so they can get ladies.
Oh yeah, that's true. But we don't see them. They're hitting on ladies afterwards, but they hit on the wrong ladies because they hit on the producers of the show.
Yeah, maybe they'll get their act together later on.
Look, this is the first movie, we've only watched 2, but this is the first movie where Adam Sandler doesn't get a lady.
Yeah, I thought they were going to throw it in at the end like they did in the other movie, but in this one, it's just, nope, he doesn't get with a lady.
Yeah, I wonder, I want to keep track of this, because I know from most Sandler films that I've seen, he always gets a lady.
Yeah, so, we're 1 and 2 for Sandler getting the lady at the end.
Yeah. We're 1 and 1, actually, we've only seen 2 movies.
I mean, yeah, 1 of 2, yeah, like 1 out of 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah, and I thought you might have seen another movie without me.
No, I would never betray you like that.
Because you wouldn't want to watch another Adam Sandler film?
No, I'm just very loyal to you, and I would only watch things that you are also watching.
Okay.
I'm very trustworthy.
Mm-hmm.
Do you trust me?
No.
Can I borrow your car?
Definitely not.
I'm going to take it anyway.
Then why did you ask?
Well, I thought maybe you'd say yes and I wouldn't have to steal it.
But you knew you know I wouldn't.
I wasn't sure.
Okay.
We're
Anyway.
good friends.
Sure. Yeah, so Shakes gets Binky's spot on the TV show, and everybody loves it.
Yeah, because Shakes is a good clown. Binky was not, because he was just a creepy man.
Yeah, he was also cocaine.
It's very shocking that he hadn't killed anyone before this.
Yeah, it was weird that he had a pretty successful career as a not funny clown, and yet hadn't killed anybody yet.
Yeah, well, he finally did it, and he got his comeuppance.
Yep. And, yeah, Shakes gets a nice happy ending, and we get to see the mime one more time. I don't know why Shakes brought him on his show, but...
I guess he, for some reason, didn't hate mimes after that. I would have thought he would have hated them even more.
Yeah. Or they were just like, hey, Robin, can you do this last part for us since you were so great in the other one? And he was like, sure.
Yeah, that's probably what they did. They just needed him in more scenes.
Yeah.
But I guess the little joke they had at the end was kind of funny, where they had him introduce Robin Williams as his mime friend, and they were just like, "Get him!"
Yeah, and then they just chase him around the studio.
Yeah, and I mean, it was clear that was actually the bit they were going for, like the actual clowns planned that.
Yeah.
But it was still funny.
Yeah, it's a weird little movie. It had all of the makings of being just another slog of a film, and then it sort of redeemed itself halfway through.
It didn't become a good movie, but it became a bearable one somehow. I thought this movie was just gonna get worse toward the end.
Yeah.
But it actually kind of saved itself.
Yeah. I would actually say go ahead and give it a watch.
Yeah, it's worth watching.
Yeah, I would say you can watch this one. I would never recommend watching Going Overboard, but I would recommend giving Shakes the Clown a try.
Yeah, or don't, because it's not a great movie.
Yeah, I mean, if you feel like watching along with us, you can watch this one.
And if you don't like clowns, like if clowns creep you out, definitely don't watch this, because the clowns are on camera the entire time.
Yeah, you should be... The title alone should probably clue you in on that one.
Well, like, it could be about one clown and there's a bunch of non-clowns, but this movie... No, this movie had the clowns.
Yeah, this movie... You know what this movie did?
What?
They sent in the clowns.
Oh, no, that's terrifying.
Yeah. Anyway, that's Shakes the Clown, and that's pretty much it for this week's episode.
Yep.
Yeah, so let's get to plugs, Keo.
All right.
Yeah, so well, first off,
I'm putting my plug gloves on.
Oh, when did you get these?
Yesterday.
Oh, there's some nice gloves. They have plugs on them, so you can plug things in.
Yep, I'm going to charge my phone with them right now.
That's cool. That's some very nice gloves.
Thank you.
Plug gloves, available now at Nowhere.
And they won't get fingerprints on your car when I take it.
But yeah, but I'll just know it was you.
Well, you don't have any proof.
Yeah, I never... Okay. Yeah, plugs, everybody. Head on over to zestyaroma.com. That's one of the hosts of this podcast, and there's tons of zesty content over there. Another place you can find this podcast is the freakingawesomenetwork.net. I also write for the freakingawesomenetwork.net. Currently, I'm not writing anything, but come February, it'll be time for more Walking Dead, and I'll be doing reviews of Better Call Saul as well.
Oh boy.
Yep. So if you're interested in the Sandlercast, I should have said this before we did plugs, but I'm going to say it right now. Next week is Coneheads, is what we're doing. The seminal SNL movie, SNL sketch turned movie.
I know what SNL is. That's a TV show about a man named Saturday.
Right. Yep, you got that right. Yeah, Coneheads is the first, I think, of a long line of SNL movies that were turned into sketches. No, it wasn't the first. I'm lying. But it was the first sketch. It's a weird movie. We'll get into it next week.
It's about a bunch of cone boys.
Yeah, it's sort of. What if the movie was called Cone Boys? Do you think it would have been better?
Yes.
Yeah, I would have liked it more if it was just called Cone Boys.
If it's called anything that followed by boys, it's going to be better than if it wasn't called something followed by boys.
Yeah.
Like, if this movie was called Shakes and the Clown Boys, I would have liked it better.
What if the last one was called Going Overboard Boys?
Yeah, that would have been better.
Or Boat Boys?
That would have been really good.
Boat Boys is a really nice title, by the way.
It really is.
We should save that for a movie we make.
A boat. We really should, because that's top quality.
Anyway, yeah, if you like this podcast, you can follow us on iTunes. You can review. You can like and subscribe, and all of that fun stuff.
You can't dislike.
Yeah, so don't try.
And you can't unsubscribe.
Well, you can't.
You actually cannot.
Yeah, you can.
You're not allowed.
Oh, yeah, we don't want you to.
Like, I'm threatening the audience once, and anybody listening to this, if you ever give a bad rating or unsubscribe, I'm gonna send you a really angry letter.
And Keo's angry letters are pretty angry.
Yeah, I actually, like, with a pen, write down angry faces, like, as if I was typing them.
Yeah, it's pretty scary. Anyway, if you have any quips, comments, questions, foresights, otherwise, you can send them to us at the tvtunerspodcast@gmail.com. Technically, that's not the email for this podcast, but I didn't feel like creating another one because I'm lazy.
Yeah, you're always lounging around, watching TV.
I sure am, and that's a perfect segue into our sister podcast. This is a bi-weekly podcast, and every other week when we're off, we have another podcast that we're doing, TV Tuners, where we watch bad TV shows, searching for the worst television show of all time.
It's a very noble quest.
Yes, almost as noble as this one.
Almost, not quite though.
So you can listen to next week's episode of TV Tuners if you wish to, or just listen to the whole back catalog. That is also up on iTunes. There's a ton of episodes for that. A whole year's worth.
Wow, you should really go ahead and listen to those.
Yeah. Whoever this new person is.
This is the end of podcast, Keo.
Oh, hey, end the podcast, Keo.
Yeah, how's it going?
You ready to end the podcast, pal?
I'm ready.
Okay, well, if you want to send us any other get ass through other social media, what? Calm down. I'm on Twitter at Jesse Swanson. Keo Rain does not have a Twitter, but you can get at him at the Zesty Aroma Twitter, and he'll get back to you. He's getting real antsy, so we're gonna end the podcast here. See you guys next week for TV Tuners, or in 2 weeks for Coneheads.
Goodbye. It's over.